Good morning, friends. I'm Pastor Ben Hayes from First Baptist Church, Dadeville, Alabama, bringing you our thought for the day on this Wednesday morning. Yes, that's right. It is middle of the week, one of my favorite days of the week. And that's because on Wednesdays we have our men's Bible study at 10 a.m. We're starting that back today, studying the book of Colossians. So, men, come on down and join us here at First Baptist. And then at 6 p.m. tonight, we'll have our prayer meeting and Bible study. After our prayer time, we'll spend a few minutes looking at the book of James, and I hope that if you can't join us physically, that you will watch us online, because there's no better way to start the day, no better way to end the day than through prayer and Bible study. And we would love to have you join us for both of those opportunities. And I am glad to say that today is going to warm up a little bit over yesterday, but we've got some storms coming in, so be safe this evening. And if you are following along with us, we are in the book of Proverbs, chapter 28. And as we come to verse 12, we're continuing a journey through what's called the verses of Hezekiah. And in these verses, what we're seeing is a delineation between good and bad, between righteous and wicked, between holy and evil. And we're seeing that the wise king is giving us this information to help us understand how we can better live in a society that may or may not be all that we want it to be. And that's important. Now, look at what he says starting in verse 12. He says, "When the righteous rejoice, there's great glory. But when the wicked arise, men hide themselves. He who covers his sins will not prosper, but whoever confesses and forsakes them will have mercy." So you see, he's giving us both sides of the coin. And what he's telling us here in verse 12 is he's talking about government and those institutions of society that are there to protect us and to give us joy in life. Government, the church, even though he wasn't talking about the church then, it refers to the church now, the family. And the problem is that when you allow the culture to win the battle and to move us in a way away from the Word of God and the holiness of God, then bad things happen. That's why he says, when the righteous rejoice, there's great glory. Because when the righteous rejoice, that's because we're looking towards the kingdom of heaven. It's because we are seeing a movement towards the lordship of Jesus Christ. We rejoice when lost men get saved. We rejoice when people are serving God and are being obedient to Him. And whether you're talking about the government, whether you're talking about the church, whether you're talking about the family, that thought is the same. We rejoice when good things happen, and that is a time of great glory. But look at how he continues that. He says, "When the wicked arise, men hide themselves." Wow. Men hide themselves. Why? Because the wicked seeks to destroy the good. And that's what he's talking about here, that delineation between good versus evil. And so when the wicked men arise, things change. All of a sudden, there's not the freedom to worship. There's not the freedom to share our faith as it was. And even in a culture like ours that is neither wholly righteous nor wholly evil, we find ourselves being pushed back to the point where we sit back and we don't want to say as much because we don't want to be canceled, is the word that's used in our culture today. We don't want to be criticized as not being politically correct. We don't want to be accused of being bigots who hate people who are different from us. And so we tend to back off and we don't say as much as we should. But here's the thing. Jesus has called us to be the salt and the light in the midst of every kind of culture. It doesn't matter how good things are. It doesn't matter how bad things are. We are the salt and the light. We are the change agents in this world because Jesus has given to us a heart that seeks after what is good and holy, and we want to share that with the people around us. Now, does that mean that we have to stand on the street corners and tell everybody that doesn't listen to us that they're going to spend eternity in hell? No. What it means is that we have to love with the love of Jesus and share the hope that is within us to a lost and hurting world. So I hope that you'll think about that today. I hope that you'll focus on that. And don't let the culture overwhelm you. Share the good news of Jesus everywhere you go. It may just be with a smile. It may just be with a kind word or a kind act. But show the love of Christ to someone today and see if that doesn't improve your life too. I hope you have a great day today. God bless.